Hello, I am Jessie the Sleepy Koala because I'm Australian and tired. Today, I want to talk about the newest Skyward novella that has come out called Sunreach. Sunreach is part of a triplet of novellas that will happen concurrently with the third book in the Skyward series, Cytonic. So far, Sunreach has been released, but Redawn and Evershore have not yet been released. But in preparation for the other books' releases later this year in 2021, here is a recap of Sunreach, which you might have just read, but maybe in the future someone will find this helpful. These novellas were actually a co-author project between Brandon and Janci Patterson. Janci actually wrote large portions of this. Most of the books are Janci's writing, and then her and Brandon would go between and edit them. But I believe most of the underlying writing is her. And I think she's done a fantastic job at capturing the characters, at capturing the tone, capturing the world. Honestly, I could not tell the difference between Skyward, Starsight, and these novellas. Like, they read so smoothly to me. Good job, Janci. You did amazing. And I have already talked about this on one of my other videos. She did a really good job. And I definitely think this is a good way to show that Brandon can co-author with people and it be successful. In Sunreach, we get to see from the perspective of FM. It starts off in the Battle of Detritus at the end of Starsight, which was just fantastic, I think, because you get to see what it's like for the pilots of the DDF to go dark and the emotions and fear that come with that. I loved that opening scene so much. I feel like it filled a lot of the gaps and got rid of a lot of the disappointments that I had with the ending of Starsight, because I felt that we really needed to get more stakes in the battle and more of the fear and anxiety that would be in a battle like that. And this gave us that. This opening gave us stakes, it gave us tension, it was wonderful. For most of the book after this, FM is working with the Titanic slugs that Jorgen rescued at the end of Starsight from the Detritus cave system. Because in this book, we learn that there are actually multiple types of slug. We have Hyperslug, basically what Doomslug is, who can teleport around. We have Boomslug, which explodes when it's unhappy. People are theorizing that what Boomslug is using are mind blades, which come from defending Elysium, and there is a minor reference to them in Starsight. But mostly defending Elysium is where the mind blade idea and name and powers come from. And people think that Boomslug's using mind blades, so that's pretty cool. The third one is comm slugs, which are communication slugs, and you can use them to send long distance messages. FM is very protective of these slugs and is really defensive and pushing back against the idea that they are just objects and things to be used, because they are creatures, they are animals, and she thinks that they have more intelligence than they actually do from the way she interacted with Doomslug, which is Spencer's Tanix. So even though she starts off as Slug Wrangler of having to go find them all around Platform Prime because they keep teleporting away, eventually she ends up doing these experiments with Rig after they actually talk about their feelings and figure out that they like each other and get together. Yay for good communication. And I will also talk a bit more about their relationship a bit later because I really like it. FM and Rig designed these experiments to teach the slugs using operant conditioning to follow a command and then teleport to a specific place. So they can use this in the future when they want to try and get hyperdrives to work. They're pretty successful with some of them. They teach them to go to this little box and they call it home, and they bribe them with caviar. That's how they're getting this thing to work. It's like training a dog, basically. They're doing dog training, but with slug. It's adorable. And also, Rig is very adamant that they have to have good experimental design. And as a scientist, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. One of the running storylines that ties into the slugs is they're trying to rescue Kuna, who we left at the end of Starsight in a closet. Clearly they lived and clearly they escaped. They are stuck on this station called Sunreach, and once the DDF get the communication slugs working, they're able to communicate with Kuna, who promptly goes, "Please rescue me. Please rescue us. We are stuck. They are trying to kill us." Com sends Skyward flight, and when they get there, they find this planet with this giant creature on one side of it that has all of these tentacles and these mouths, and don't go near it because it will eat you. And then the Sunreach station was a separate thing that just like orbited around the planet. We get a big battle where the superiority ships have found Kuna and are trying to kill them, and now we've got Skyward Flight and they're defending them, and the Skyward Flight are losing. They're losing really, really bad. And then Jorgen gets exploded. His ship explodes. He doesn't die. They're all carrying these slugs, and his slug transported him to the Sunreach station, and now he's inside of it. And FM has the same thing. She gets pulled into the station, and there's the question of, do we leave and take the people we're here to get and leave all of our friends to die? Or do we somehow try and save our friend? Jorgen has this impossible decision to make, and Jorgen is such a by-the-books person. Like, he knows what the right answer is by the books, but that isn't the answer that he wants to go with. But then, FM is really clever and smart and knows these slugs very well. So she gets the slugs to go get the different flight members and come back to the slug she has, who is being the anchor, and they know, the slugs know each other's names, so they just transport themselves to each other. We go get all of our Skyward Flight, we get them all into the station, get them all together, group hug, go back to Platform Prime, and leave the superiority fighters to be eaten, probably. This ending was made possible because of the experiments that Rig and FM were doing, and the setup of them calling this box home. So they could just say to the slugs, take us home, which I thought was really cool. I thought that was funny, and I didn't think that was contrived or anything. I really enjoyed that. The other big thing that happens in this book is the Rig FM relationship. I love it. I think it's a great relationship. I have seen negative criticism about it being very juvenile, which is very fair. It is. That's why I love it, but I can see why other people don't like that. That's totally fine. But at the beginning of the book, Rig is basically ignoring FM because he has no social skills, and FM thinks that Rig is annoyed with her or doesn't like her because he's ignoring her. Eventually, they actually talk to one another and realize, hey, actually, maybe we like each other. Oh, that's what it is. They then start talking because now FM knows why Rig wasn't talking to her, and now Rig is kind of able to talk to her because he has addressed the elephant in the room. I think their relationship is super cute. I find it is very juvenile because they are such teenagers in it. And this is a YA series with a bunch of teenagers, and it's just kind of refreshing to me to find a series, to find a relationship that reflects the ages of these characters. And is it kind of like a lot of other YA relationships, where it's basically the same way you would write an adult relationship, but we've just aged it down, which is also fine. There's nothing wrong with those relationships. I just found this one to be really refreshing because it wasn't that, and it, like, they're awkward, they don't know how to talk to each other, they're shy and getting to know each other and still pretty naive about this all. And I thought that was really cute. So that's the other big thing that happens in Sunreach. I hope you enjoyed this recap and my occasional comment on things. I will be back after October 26th with a recap of the next novella, Redawn. And then in November, I'll be back with a recap of Cytonic after the 23rd. And finally, Evershore Recap after December 28th. Merry Christmas, everybody. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye.